One of the great chase cards of the year came in 2024 Bowman Draft baseball boxes that were released in the fall. It was the John Elway card in a Yankee uniform. Signed versions with great inscriptions like "Drafted ahead of Gwynn" and "Yankees over Colts." It's like holding a small piece of an alternative past in the palm of your hands. Elway was drafted by the New York Yankees with the 52nd overall pick and even played for their single-A affiliate where he batted an impressive .318. But the only reason why he was playing baseball for the Yankees was because he was drafted by the NFL's Baltimore Colts. Let me explain. See, John Elway was the quarterback for the Stanford University Cardinal from 1979 to 1982. His freshman season, he only played in a total of 9 games, but then he became the starter as a sophomore, throwing 27 touchdown passes, which ranked second in the NCAA, and he was the Pac-10 Player of the Year. Another very good season for Elway in 1981 as a junior, throwing 20 touchdown passes. He was clearly the best college football quarterback in his senior season in 1982, Pac-10 Player of the Year once again, and a unanimous All-American selection. But he was quite a baseball player, too. In high school, he batted .551 and .491 in his junior and senior seasons and won Los Angeles Player of the Year and a city championship at Granada Hills High School, California. He was drafted by the Kansas City Royals right out of high school, but instead he made good on his commitment to Stanford. Along with playing quarterback at the highest level, he also played 4 years on the Stanford baseball team, including batting .444 as a senior and leading the Cardinal to the NCAA regionals. After his baseball rights were relinquished by the Royals, the New York Yankees drafted Elway in the second round of the 1981 draft, 6 spots ahead of future Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn. Most thought that Elway was a good baseball prospect, but his better future was with football. But others thought he had the potential to be a superstar in baseball. Yankees owner George Steinbrenner believed in the latter. He was obsessed with the left-handed hitting outfielder with the cannon arm and signed Elway to a $140,000 contract to play a Class A short season in the New York Penn League. His stint with the Yankees farm system fueled the speculation that Elway may choose baseball over football. After his senior year at Stanford, it was clear that Elway was going to be the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft. Shortly before the draft, Steinbrenner and the Yankees made a big push for Elway. They courted him at Yankee Stadium, giving him a mega VIP tour of the historic house that Ruth built. His mother was even given a gold necklace with the interlocking NY charm. Yankee manager Billy Martin was on hand, and they discussed a speedy developmental timetable which could have Elway reach the AAA level within a year. This was recruiting by the New York Yankees, and this is what they do very, very well. Just like they did with the baseball free agents Dave Winfield and Reggie Jackson. They know how to ratchet up the persuasion when the chips are at the center of the table. So here we are, 9 days later, April 26, 1983, just hours before the NFL draft. John Elway announces that he will not play for the Baltimore Colts if they draft him #1 overall due to overall concerns about the direction of the franchise. This was groundbreaking at the time. This may not seem strange by today's standards, but in 1983, college players did not have that kind of leverage. Elway went on by saying that if they do draft him, he has options, which everyone believes is signing with the Yankees to play baseball. The Colts didn't listen. They selected the Stanford quarterback with the top overall pick.
Baltimore selects quarterback John Elway of Stanford.
That night, Elway held a press conference telling the world, and I quote, "As I stand here today, it's going to be baseball."
I don't want to be a jerk or anything about it. That we've been telling you for 3 months that I'm not going to play in Baltimore, and right now you have nothing. And then I hung the phone up.
Elway and his representatives quickly gathered together to draw up a contract proposal that they were going to submit to the Yankees. Elway was not going to cave. He was standing pat, and so were the Colts. But that didn't last long. Many NFL teams were calling the Colts and asking for Elway. 6 days later, he was traded to the Denver Broncos for, get this, offensive lineman Chris Hinton, quarterback Mark Herman, and 1 first-round pick. Not 3 first-rounders, not 2 first-rounders, 1 first-round pick. The Colts, unfortunately, got fleeced. Elway came into Denver as one of the most highly anticipated athletes in NFL history. In his debut game in Week 1, he was only 1 for 8 passing for 14 yards, was sacked 4 times, and he threw a pick. In the second game of his career, September 11th, 1983, the Denver Broncos traveled to Baltimore to play the team that Elway denied to play for, the Baltimore Colts. And we got the ticket to that. So here we are. Baltimore Colts faithful were on hand for this one. 57,340 fans came out to boo Elway. The first round of boos came after the opening kickoff when Elway and the Broncos offense took the field. This was Week 1 home game for Baltimore, so this was their home opener for 1983 season. It was a rough day at the office for the young quarterback. He was 9 for 21 with 106 yards, no touchdowns, and was sacked 3 times. This was tough. Elway's only game in Baltimore was really, really tough. Elway was eventually replaced by backup Steve DeBerg, who led the Broncos to a 17-10 victory. This was Elway's first and only game in Baltimore. At the end of the 1983 season, Colts owner Robert Irsay moved the franchise to Indianapolis, where they remain today. This ticket is super, super cool because on it says Game 1. Anyone who collects tickets, especially NFL tickets, you'll love to see Game 1 on it because that's a first for a lot of things. A lot of rookies have their debut in that game. So it just so happens to have a Denver Broncos player on it, number 47. Not quite sure who that is, but on the label we see it says John Elway, NFL game number 2, only game in Baltimore. This is a PSA population of 2. I own both of them, so this is a very, very rare, very important piece of NFL history. John Elway went on to be one of the great quarterbacks in NFL history, a true dual threat at the position. He had the scrambling and the escapability, but it was his cannon arm which led the Broncos franchise to great heights. He took Denver to 5 Super Bowls and was a 9-time Pro Bowler and the NFL MVP in 1987. He passed for over 51,000 yards in his career, 300 touchdowns, 33 rushing touchdowns. He won back-to-back Super Bowl championships in 1997 and 1998 after failing to win the big one in 3 previous attempts. He then retired at the peak of the mountaintop after winning Super Bowl 33 MVP on January 31st, 1999, and never played another game. The city of Baltimore was left without an NFL franchise until 1996 when Cleveland Browns owner Art Modell relocated his team to Baltimore and they became the Ravens. Although Elway played 3 seasons with Denver while the Ravens were in existence, the scheduling gods never put Elway back in Baltimore. 2 seasons after Elway retired, the Baltimore Ravens beat the New York Giants 34-7 for the Ravens' first Super Bowl and the first football championship for the city of Baltimore since 1968. But this ticket marks the only time that John Elway played a football game in Baltimore, the city and the franchise that he declined to play for. In 1999, when Elway led the Broncos to their 2nd championship in a row, the New York Yankees were also gearing up for their 2nd championship in a row and 3rd World Series in 4 years. But Yankee fans can't help to wonder, what if? What it would have been like if he had the left-handed hitting outfielder with the cannon arm from Stanford. This is Dave Cat. I'm the Ticket Bastard, Iconic Sports Media.
Glad that I get to play in the NFL, and I'm glad I get to play for the Denver Broncos.
It appears that this is a steal.
And things hadn't worked out, and I figured that baseball was my best option. Having the choice, baseball was my best option the way it was going. And when I was able to sign with the Broncos, to me that was the best thing that was offered to me, and so I did.